Welcome back to Talking Serpents. Today's subject is going to be heating and lighting. I get contacted pretty often. People are wondering how I heat and light my enclosures. So today is going to be all devoted to that. So we'll start with this enclosure. This enclosure is 4.5 feet wide, 1.5 feet deep, and 1.5 feet tall. In this enclosure, it's a ceramic light bulb socket. I got that at Home Depot. Actually, I got all of these parts at Home Depot except for the light. And that bulb, the little bulb fixture was $2, maybe $1.50. And then in back of it, you'll see that I drilled a hole into the wall. And there's a power cord you get, and it was $8. And then around the bulb itself is my bulb guard that I made out of chicken wire. And everything's all deburred. And this works for two different reasons. One, your reptile won't get on it, because I know my snakes would definitely try to climb on it and get burned. And two, it would probably help against fires and stuff. Because if anything was ever to lay on the bulb, it could potentially start a fire. This one has a 40-watt bulb in it. We used it's a daylight bulb. I'll show you all the bulbs over here to make more sense that way. So this is a Zoom-Ed daylight blue. And this particular style bulb distributes heat in all different directions instead of just going down like a basking bulb. Right here is a basking bulb. These bulbs, all the heat radiates straight down, pretty much just like that. So for this particular enclosure, I use these bulbs because they radiate heat in all directions. So for this one, it'll hold an ambient temperature of about 85 degrees, which is perfect. And we'll go back to the bottom one. This enclosure is from a reticulated python, as you can see in the front. We just had him out, so he's probably a little active. And this enclosure...
You just bopped him in the head.
Oh no. This enclosure is 8 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 2 feet tall. And instead of having a 40-watt bulb, we have a 100-watt bulb on the right side. And same fixture, same bulb guard, same everything else. But this one does have also a nighttime bulb, which is a 75-watt. Let's move on to our last example. This one, and if you watch any of my other YouTube videos, you know that this is stage 4 enclosure. And this is a 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 4 feet tall, and it's a 2-story enclosure. And you can see I put the heat bulb on top. And there's a hole, you see right here, and it goes straight down to the bottom. Let's see if we can get a better inside view. And on this one, since we didn't want the heat radiating 365 degrees around, what we did was we used a basking bulb that would go. We used the basking bulb because all the heat would radiate downward. That way, we have more heat going to the bottom. And right now, the bottom, which I consider the cold side, is 80 degrees. So it's perfect. What else? What's more important? The reason why we use heat bulbs is because 1, it heats, 2, it lights up your enclosure. The snakes need to know when it's day or night. They don't necessarily need to know, but I think it's kind of healthy for your snake to know personally. And 3, I put moss bowls underneath each heat bulb because it creates perfect humidity. I fill up these bowls with moss and water every 5 days. That way I don't have to spray in here morning and night. I think that's kind of a pain in the butt. and spray every day. So it holds perfect humidity. So instead of 2 birds, 1 stone, it's 3 birds, 1 stone. There's other options out there, like you can use heat tape, and that would work pretty well. But then you'd have heat tape, and if you wanted to do lighting, you would have to add either a fluorescent bulb or, like what we do sometimes, an LED bar, the light strip. We got these at Home Depot or Walmart. We get it for $10. They work really well, pretty bright. But I mean, then again, you have to you got to power something else, and you have twice as many objects that you need to use.
And then you have to spray down for humidity.
Yeah, so you're doing more work. And then another option, let's just say there's, if you have a reptile room, you could heat the room itself. That would definitely be a good option. I would definitely do that if I had one particular room all devoted to reptiles, but I couldn't just heat up my whole living room. Like, I could, but I just go in there sweating my hats off, and
Be expensive.
Yeah. So for me, no, it wouldn't work. What's another option? What are they called? Heat panels. I know there's 2 manufacturers that make them. I can't remember them off the top of my head. I'll try to post them maybe in the description below, or I'll just have them pop up. We were going to do that. They kind of work like a heat fixture, like a heat bulb, but it's a rectangular panel you stick on the top, and then it radiates all the heat downward, so they get kind of like a basking spot, and it heats the whole enclosure up as well. And there's different sizes you can get, and you can talk to the guys at the company, and they'll tell you what size you get for your particular enclosure. But they are a little more expensive. Not that they're not any good. I think they're like $80 to $100 for each. Yeah, and I mean, these I built. Let's just say $2 for the fixture, $8 for that cord, and to build that guard, it was probably like 50 cents or $1. So let's just say we're at like maximum $12.
And then your bulb, which is $8 to $10.
Yeah.
So
pretty cheap, and you don't have to put a light bulb. Like a fluorescent or an LED bar in there. So that's why I use what I use. Although when it is summertime, and I do live in Lake Forest, where it gets a little hotter in summer, sometimes the days that it gets too hot and I have to shut the lights off, shut the heat bulbs off. That's why I have these little light bars, because I'll mount them inside each enclosure. That way they have a day and night bulb, and I can't tell. I think I've covered everything.
yeah.
Alright. Well, don't forget to strike that like button.
Yeah.
If you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. We post stuff daily. We try to put really good content on there. So go check that out. You won't be disappointed. If you have any comments, put them in the comment section below. I'll always message back to you. And have a good day.